Okay, we are rock and rolling and live. Let's just get everyone in. Good to see you all. Great to have you here. And we are going to be kicking off with day three. We've got a lot to cover again today. And I'm just going to give a few moments for everyone to come in. Can I get also a quick audio check? Make sure that I am loud and clear, which is always a good bloody start. But good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. As we are now global. Okay, right, what I'm going to do is kick start off is make sure we share the screen. Sure. Stephen C. Hobb, you're in here 4 times. Either you have a stutter or you're connecting with multiple machines, which is interesting feat of technology, I'll give you that. But yeah, you're in here 4 times. What the hell are you doing that? All right, cool. All right, getting some feedback. It's probably because you're connected 5 fucking 2 or 4 times. Go check which devices are connected. I don't know why that's happening or why you're in here so many times. Check your different browsers, Zooms, or what have you. But yeah, you're. I don't know which one you're talking under. Otherwise, I'd kick the other ones out. But yeah, you're in here 4 times. So I don't know how the hell that's happening. But all good. All right. So, can you see my screen with the welcome screen, just so we can kick off and get rocking and bloody rolling? Because again, today is cool. Okay, yeah, we good. So today is going to be a fun day for me. The boring part of this entire process, and it can, finding the coins. Okay, that's you got to sift through a lot of sand to find the gold. Okay, but when you do it, I'm going to show you examples from yesterday. There could be some very fucking interesting stuff. So let's start off with a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, make sure you're in the Discord community. Make sure you're upgraded. Replays will be posted after yada yada yada. Same old shit that we've been talking about. And on day 1, we set the foundation. Yesterday, we found the gold. We were going through everything and finding the hidden gold in the sand. Today is about turning this into actual profit. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the money hits the bank. And that's really, to me, the fun part of this entire process. And then tomorrow, we're going to take everything we've done the last 3 days and how we can take it even further. And then day 5 is open Q&A. Now, do remember, we are giving away $1,000. You need 5 codes. Each session will have a code. That code will be given away at the end. I never meant for people to post the code in Discord. You meant to just write it down and save it for later. Because it kind of defeats the purpose of everyone watching the bloody thing when everyone gives away the code. The whole point is to make sure you watch the freaking training. But anyway, I digress. What the hell? Doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I did say there would be a winner for the best aha moment yesterday, because we did a lot of trading and we went over the hour. But the winner for yesterday's session 2 was, drumroll please, P. Javid. His aha moment was, while practicing the homework, I realized that every bad find was an important part of improving my trading skills. Searching for newly launched coins on DexTools and doing the quick sweep checks wasn't just about finding a good coin, it was about understanding why some coins didn't pass the check. Very good and a very well put observation. Each practice attempt taught me something valuable, like spotting issues and noticing patterns I hadn't seen before. This exercise showed me that even when I don't get it right, I'm still learning and sharpening my judgment. The real value lies in the lessons I gain during the practice, turning each challenge into an opportunity to grow. It's the right fucking attitude. And I couldn't have put that better myself. So, P. Javid, I'm going to reach out to you via Discord. Keep an eye out for your PMs. Same with Jossie from yesterday. And you rock and roll. Someone said, hey, Sean, can you send the day 2 resources? Guess what? It's in the same document. Okay, let me just, okay, I've got way too many windows open. Yeah, it's all in the same document. If you go down here, I've even put day 3 resources in here already. Okay, so each day the resources will be in the same damn document, right? So that link has been shared by Tam, so you're all good to go, right? So anyway, how do you get this? How do you get this on your laptop? You got to log in through your laptop. Take the link, email. If you're looking at this on your phone, then yeah, it's going to be too small, especially for today. So go log out, log in on your laptop, use the same link. Don't. If you're watching this on your phone, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Okay. Now we do recordings. We are doing recordings of every session, but yeah, please look at this on a regular screen. Okay. All right. Anyway, day 3 agenda. We're going to put it all together into a production line process. We'll talk about $1 million mindset, how to get consistency in approach, the double tap method. We're going to talk about that briefly. For the inner circle people, we're going to do an entire session on that. And then the day 3 assignment. So let's dive in after the recap and we'll rock and roll. So time management. What I'm about to show you is an entire process, but I just want to show you this can be done in 30 to 60 minutes a day. You could do it less, you could spend longer if you want, okay? But let's just say 60 minutes when you first start. So first 10 minutes of the day, go look for new micro accounts. You've seen yesterday, it can be very quick to go through. Maybe you've got some on your calendar from pre-launches. Maybe you've got awareness for some other coins. You know, just basically take some time to create your long list that you're getting ready to make into a short list. Okay, that's the whole point here. Now, it may take a little time up front, but over time, that speeds up very quick. Take 15 minutes. Once you've pared down your list, quickly eliminate the bullshit. Focus on the ones that actually do pass muster. You know, so use the quick sweep checklist, find the ones with the red flags, eliminate them. For the ones that pass the quick sweep, dig deeper. And if you can't find a good potential coin, like we didn't yesterday when we were doing the session, didn't find one, walk away. Don't feel compelled to have to trade. We only want good coins. Now, I want to re-emphasize that. Don't feel compelled to find a shitty coin just to trade. Do you understand that? Put a yes in the chat box. I want everyone's confirmation on that one, that they understand. Do not force. I cannot tell you how important that is. This is the same in crypto world. It's the same in stocks. If I don't find a trade for the day, I'll walk away. Done. I'll come back tomorrow. Very important. That will save you a lot of money and a lot of hassles and headaches. Okay? Right, next. Execute the trade, which only takes a few minutes. Okay? You monitor the price movement of the validated coins. Wait for the first hit. We're going to go through this in detail in a moment. After the initial upward thrust. Allocate 5 to 15 minutes just to observe price fluctuations when you first enter a trade. And then walk the fuck away. Set your targets, walk away. Look for buy and sell orders, check addresses, all that kind of stuff. We're going to go into this in a little more detail. I don't want to go too ahead and too technical. Okay, so every charting platform has the indicators that we're going to be talking about. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to talk about this in a few moments. Then secure your profits. Have you hit target? Is there something that's working? Okay, great. Track the performance of your trade and decide to exit based on predefined targets, which we'll talk about in a moment. Yeah, and there's a few different reasons we get out of a trade. Getting into a trade is important. Getting out of a trade is more important. Okay, so we have a couple of different criteria we'll talk about. Define your exit before you place a trade. This one's important. You decide where you want to exit or continue a trade. This is the business end of the spear here, okay? We want to make sure not just where we're getting in, but we're determining where we're going to get out or continue. It's not just about the money you make, but the money you keep. And I'm going to suggest if you've got a pen and paper and notepad, write that down, okay? Because that is one of the most important things you will learn as a trader. It's not just about the money you make, it's about the money you keep. And then rinse and repeat. Lock your trades with the reason why. By the way, I'm going to give you a trade tracker in a moment. Search for new coins. Maybe if you've got a few minutes at the end, after you've had your coffee, or in my case, a protein shake, because I'm at the gym a lot. Although apparently I've got to take a couple of weeks off because I sprained my ribs. It's a different story. I fell off my motorbike a couple of days ago, just a small crash. A couple of little cuts and bruises, nothing too serious, but I hurt my ribs. And then I went for a Thai massage yesterday, and I have a massage girl. She's fucking amazing. I mean, literally, when I'm at the gym and everything else, and I'm lifting heavy weights, she gets really into the muscles. But she sat on my back. She's kind of a big girl. She sat on my back, and then something popped, and it's like, oh, that wasn't meant to do that. And because I'm already just a little cautious because of my ribs. Anyway, she sat on my back, and then something popped. I'm like, oh fuck, did that break? Oh bollocks. Oh, was that a fracture that just got worse or popped? Something went wrong. Anyway, I went for an x-ray, and turns out, thankfully, it's just either the muscle or cartilage, but that's there, that got nothing broken. But that's the problem with ribs. You can't tell if it's broken or not, because it all feels the same. Sprain, break, or fracture, it all feels the freaking same. And I've broken my ribs many, many times over the years. And yeah, you never know. But so if I wince a little bit, that's why I'm telling you this. If I wince a little bit, it's because I've twisted or something like that, and barely got any sleep last night. So anyway, by the by, not part of the training. Just letting you know, if you see a little pained look on my face when I breathe in deep or cough and I look like I'm in pain, that's why. Anyway, so evaluate, rinse, and repeat. Spend about 10 minutes just tidying up the business for the day, if you will. Log your trades, search for any new coins, put them on tomorrow's list. With this, also, one thing, because someone's also asking this, allocate no more than 10% of your capital per trade when you're going live, okay? Now, someone's saying, how did you find the only big girl in Thailand? Okay, no, there's plenty here. It's all shapes and sizes. Anyway, not part of the trading. That's a discussion for another day. Anyway, be mindful of your own emotional state. Give you an example of this. The other day, I had a really bad day. Now, this is just everything for the day went wrong. Motorcycles breaking down, this, something else breaking. Fucking cats driving me nuts. I've got 2 rescue kittens here that were just terrible, terrible little buggers all day. And just everything in the day pissed me off. And it was one of those compounding days. We've all had them. And you're just like, fuck it. You're just mad. You're just pissed off. If that happens, and it happened to me, and I sat down at my desk, I was going to trade, and I'm like, you know what? I'm in a really bad fucking, and I'm going to make bad decisions. Be aware of that, your emotional state, and don't bring that shit, the emotion or anything else, to trading. And if you are just in a, if you are in a state where you think you're going to make bad decisions because of your trading, be self-reflective, be self-aware, and it's okay not to take a day off of trading. Now, the flip side of this, and this is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but the emotional side of trading is very, very real. It's the same in business. When if you had too much to drink, don't drunk dial. It's the same freaking principle here. If you're in a bad mood, don't trade based on that emotion. You'll have that, but also don't create excuses not to trade. This is the discipline side of it, but it is the business side as well. And here's the thing. While I teach a lot of trading, I also teach a lot of business principles because it is very relevant to what we do. So the other thing is, if you're trading too much, okay, if you're putting too much on a trade where you start getting anxious about a particular trade because you've probably committed too much money to a trade that you're not ready to risk. We all have our number. It's like a little volume dial. You can turn it up, you can turn it down. It's okay to trade smaller if you need a break, take it. What the fuck is going on out there? I don't know if you can hear the big bangs right now. What the hell is that? I'll have to go get a gun and shoot someone in a fucking second or something. I don't know. Take a couple of pop shots and see what's going on. Anyway, yeah, weird. Okay, it's stopped now. That was big bangs, like it was like a truck or something like that, dropping something, a big metal thing. No idea. Anyway, hopefully that didn't come through on the microphone. But when you first start, obviously, we talk about these three phases. First 30 days, at least, paper trade. Practice. When you go live, start small. And then when you're getting the same consistency, first starting small, then you can scale up as you go. Okay. Now, this 60-minute process forces discipline, focus, and reduces risk and emotion. Now, just taking that as a whole, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Now, what I'm going to do as well, guys, is I'm going to take that and I'll put it in the resources document as a 60-minute process. Okay, I'll put it in the resources document for that allocation. But the whole point here is we want this to be a production line process. We want this to be a routine. We want not to think about it, just do it automatically. And yes, you can do it in less than 30 minutes. I take a lot less than that, but that's because I've been doing this a long time. But if you just think 60 minutes, I can do that in a day. Boom, that's your business right there. All right, now let's put it into practice. So we talked about finding coins. So let's assume, first of all, I want to congratulate everyone who did find some good coins. They did their homework. Now, not everyone did the homework. Extend your left hand so I can go like that, because a lot of people didn't do the fucking homework. Or if they did, they didn't post it in Discord. Should have. Naughty, naughty. Because it's the practice. When you do this, it's the practice that gets this part of the routine. So I'm going to ask and be honest, because Uncle Sean knows, like Santa Claus, we know if you've been naughty or nice, who did their homework, even if they just did search. Yes or no? Okay. No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. I did search. Okay, a lot of people said they did. A couple of people said no. Okay. Okay. For those that said no, again, extend your left wrist. But please do, because we're going to do this a lot, and this is really what makes things happen. I'm waiting for your automated apps. Do it fucking manually first. Don't be lazy. Seriously. The more you do this, the more you're going to understand. Like P. Javid said, okay? When you do this, you start to understand the mechanics behind everything. And what the hell is going on? I'm about to shout and swear out the window in a moment. Yo, motherfuckers, I'm on a masterclass. Okay. Anyway, so we look, and these, by the way, all these coins were found by you guys. So Brain Frog was one found by quite a few people, and it didn't really take off, but it's not one that we can't look at. I'm going to go through the process in a moment. And okay, so this one was found by, I can't remember who found this one, but it did pretty well. And then I'll have to close a couple here. So, okay, Brain Frog. So what we look for when we're trading is we look for the first thrust. We're looking for a certain pattern. And I'm going to, now, okay, where's my pen? Okay, there we go. We're looking for a pattern. That pattern is as follows. We want to see first the initial thrust, then a pullback. Okay, I'm doing this ass about face. Hold on. There we go. I'll do this. We want first thrust, a pullback. We mark off the highest point, and then we want the coin to break past. When it does, that's our cue to enter a trade. Now, what is this all about? We want the initial launch to show that it's going up, okay, which is here. Now, we talk about block zero. I mentioned this yesterday, block zero. That's where everyone tries to get in. That's all the trucks trying to get on the one-lane highway at the same time. We want data to come in to prove that it's got momentum. We then wait for it to pull back, because when we have that first spike, that's usually when people sell the coin, okay? They sell to cash out. But there's two things that can happen at this point. It can, and so we mark off the high, which we did here. And now, two things that could happen. It could continue. In other words, there's more interest, there's more buying, and that gives us an indication that this coin is going somewhere, but we've got data to prove it. Or the flip side of this point is it keeps going down and, well, we never trade and we never waste our money. Now, I want to stop there real quick. Does that make sense? After the initial, we call this the proof phase, okay? This is proof that we have money. Then the second is the confirmation of momentum. And then, or we got the failure of the coin. Does that make sense? Please put yes or no in the chat box. Okay, good. This is the key to making fortunes. And it's similar principle of using the stock market forever. Okay, so we're looking for the proof, the confirmation, or the failure. And if we have confirmation, we trade. Don't, we don't. Now, in this one, which we showed you, which you guys found, what do we have? We have the proof phase, but right now, we don't have anything else. We can wait to see if it in the future it comes up, but right now, we don't have anything. So we can put this is what we call pending. So we can put it in a watch list, which you can do when you connect your account up. You can come up here. Okay, let me just actually turn this off. I'm surprised you couldn't hear. By the way, someone said, I can't hear what's going out the window. I'm surprised it's bloody loud. But yeah, you can come up here, little star here, boom, and I can put it on my little lists. I can create lists and watching, what we call watch lists, staging areas and everything else. But now, there we go. That's done. It's now, and I can come over here. I can see any coins I've got that I'm watching right now. So that's a setup. The initial thrust, the highest point of that first thrust before we have a pull away, that's where we use a horizontal line, which is this trend line here. Okay, let's have a look at this one. This is DYAI. Again, another coin you guys found. I'll mark off the highest point, which happens to be the first bar. And what can you say about this one? Confirmation or failure? Dead. Yeah, it's failure. It's failed right now. And with the lack of interest in the end, looks like it's dead. It looks like it's dead. Okay, right. Next one, Lumo. Again, found by you guys. I'm gonna close these two for right now. All right. The first thrust, pull back, so mark off the high, and we had confirmation. Now, I'm gonna go very specific here. We want a bar to finish above. So if I go here, and I'm just scaling it up, this bar closed above. Now, I'm going to explain a candle real quick. So you understand what I mean by closed above or closed below and all that other monkey stuff, right? So a candle, each one of these candles represents, and I'm on a 15-minute chart. So each one of these candles represents 15 minutes. And there's several things that happen in this. In fact, what I'm going to do before I do that is open this up fully. Okay, there we go. And we got a little more canvas. So a candle is made up of several. Whoa, Jesus Christ. Okay, I made that a little. What did I do there? Okay. That was a little excessive. All right. So a candle is made up of a body and potentially wicks. Now, depending on the color of the candle indicates what's happening. So we have the highest point is called the high. Surprise, surprise. The lowest point is called the low. Aha, what a fucking surprise. But if it's a green candle, then what that means, if I fill this in true Bob Ross style, it opened here. At some stage, it went as high as here. At some stage, it went as low as here. But when it ended, that 15-minute window ended, it closed right here. That's what that means. Now, the flip side of that is if it's red. That means it, okay, just fill it in real quick. It opened here, it went as high, again, as the top, or as low as the bottom here, but then it closed below. So red means it finished below its price. Now, some candles may not have wicks. As an example, it may have gone all the way down here. It has no wick at the bottom, but whatever the lowest point or the highest point is always the high though, okay? Doesn't matter if it has a wick or not. The reason for the wick, as we call it, on the candle, this is actually based on a old Japanese principle for the fluctuating prices of rice, when, again, trading back in the, God knows how many hundreds of years ago. But the wicks may or may not be there. It just means the main thing we care about really is the body of the wick, which is what we call this metal part, and what it did. Where did it open? Where did it close? So, okay, does that make sense? Just in principle, does that make sense? A red candle means it went down. A green candle means it went up. And when the candle finishes, we know where it opened and closed. Okay, good. All right. So with that being said, how's the, there we go. Right. So we know that this candle here, ended right above. Again, I'm just going to extend it out. It closed above. This is what we call our confirmation. This is our trigger because it's the highest point. We create a mark line, and then when it closes above, we start a trade on the next one. So I'm going to use, just for general purposes here, the long tool. So you can come here, this second one here, long position. You can see there's lots of different ones. We're just going to go for the first one, long position. And this is how we plot a trade. I take this on the open, which is the lowest part of the body on the next candle. I take the stop, which is the lowest part here, to the previous low here. And then when we're on a new coin, I aim for 1.5 risk to return or 100%, whichever's easier. So if you look here, and you can notice this number here, okay, risk to reward ratio. I'm moving it up to 1.5. Now I can also look up here to see how many percent that is, 91%. So I'm going to round that up to 100. It's not far away. So if we had placed this trade, again, you guys, you'll have to excuse me, I've got alerts going off for other trades. XRP had some great rallies in crypto world in the last couple of days. Yeah, so yeah, XRP +3. We're back. We were above earlier on 100,000 for crypto. So happy times. But anyway. So we blew past that target. Now, if I'd just taken my 100%, hey, happy days, roll on. perfectly valid to do so. But it blew past that target. Actually, it went as high as here. So this is, first of all, do you understand this principle? Okay, we've got our confirmation. I set a target of 1.5 to 1 or 100% if there's close. Does that make sense? First of all, boom. If I hit that and just took my money there, I've got 100%. I've doubled my money. I can bugger off and do it again, right? Even if you just did that, what's a 1.5 to 1 risk ratio? Okay, that's a good question. Valid question. Okay, so you've got, let me just use this as a, okay, so I put my stop here, okay, which is the previous low. That's a logical point where we're unlikely to hit, okay? Or if it goes down there, it's a good point of resistance. So this unit from where we opened to here is 1 unit, okay? Whatever that would be, maybe say $100, just to keep it simple. This distance here of target is 1.5 times this. So if I risk 1 unit, I get 1.5 back, which is 150%. However, a lot of you guys, I'm going to be honest, don't have the capital to do risk to reward ratio trades. So I often use it just as a marker rather than, okay, I'm going to make 150%. However, with what we do with new coins, it's a lot, oftentimes going to be close to 100%. So if I use that as my measure, and that's why if I roll over this, you'll see up here at the top, like right at the very top line here, like up here, if I roll over it, you can see 100%. All right, I set that as my target. So if you want to, just keep it in terms of percentages and look for 100%, 50%, or what have you. When you have more capital, we can get into risk to reward ratio trades. You have to buy a little bit more, but you're risking the same amount of money, but you need more capital. So if we just keep it simple, 100%. Now, here's the thing. I can say, okay, that's my target, but it blew past it. So guess what? I can then take this and raise maybe an extra 50%. Okay. Now this line now becomes my stop. I lock in that 100%. So if it goes here and then comes back down to here, I'll take my 100% and walk away. If it blows past this and I catch it where it's 150%, well, okay, I've just made 150% and so on and so forth. And maybe if it blows past that target, like it tried to do here, well, I'll set another line there and let it roll. And I'll set my target again, raise my target to maybe 200%. Okay, it didn't hit that. It came back down to 150%. Okay, I'll take my money off the table, 150%, lock it in, done deal. Now, so you're using virtual take profit and stop losses. Yes, because in this industry, there's no take profit, there's no stop losses. So it's all virtual, it's all on the chart, which is why you have to pay attention. Now, you can set alerts. You can't really do this. Well, you can do this in DEX tools, but you need a paid account, and that's fucking expensive, not gonna lie. But you can also do it in DEX Screener, and it's free. So we'll get to that in a moment, okay? Now, for new coins, someone's asking, always on the 15-minute chart? On new coins, yes, okay? I prefer that because I can see the movement and it moves quickly. On more established coins, then I can be on a 1 hour or a 4 hour, okay? Because we've got more data, more time and everything else. Now, let's have a look at some others, okay? Just to do repetition here. Okay, so this is another coin I think you guys found. Okay, so this one. Okay, yeah, this was an older and more established coin. It's not really doing bugger all at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to walk away from that one. All right, here's another one. Smart AI, initial thrust, mark off the high, it's pulled away, it's faded away, dead, right? Okay, now this coin still in right now and it's taking off again. This one might have to raise that target at 350%, 550%. Because where I had it, right, yeah, this is before we went live, by the way. Okay, 300%, and it's gone up a chunk since then. And it had gone past my target just a little. Now it's upwards of 500%. This is what we mean about extending targets. So 500%, 300 to 500%, it's a big difference. But if we look here, just to walk through this, initial thrust and pullback, marked off the line, and it confirmed right here. Now, this was yesterday, okay? This was yesterday. So I mark it, place the trade, on position. I opened on the next bar. I took my stop to the previous low, which happens to be the open, and I initially set 100%. Okay. And a lot of the time, I'm okay with just 100%. Now, here's the thing. It took a while to reach that. So when I woke up this morning, I'm like, okay, fine. But it blew past that. Okay. So I raised it from that to 150, 150 to 200, 200, and so on and so forth until we got to 300. And that's where I was going to say, okay, that's 300%. I was going to show you this one, blah, 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 blah. But even while we've gone live and I was prepping for this masterclass, even in the last few minutes, it's skyrocketed. It's gone up higher. And this is why I love this fucking industry. So now that's gone up 500. So what I can do is, again, I can take my previous 300 here. I can raise this target and let's take it to 500. You see the number here, 500. And what I'm doing right now is I'm seeing a sign of exhaustion. This is another reason to get it. I'll talk about this in a moment. Unless you say I've set my target. Okay, fine. And now I could raise my target to maybe 550. Let's be cautious. I'd like to see it retest that highest high. But right now, it's right at that 500%. I could legitimately take that off and be very happy. Or I could let it run a little bit. We can see. There seems to be momentum here. So, okay, fine. Now, the other thing here, and I haven't even covered this yet, but I need to on the next one. I want to keep an eye on this one because this is an active trade. But we need to add some items, some indicators. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is come here. We're going to go to indicators. Now, I've already got this on here, so I'm going to take it off. Okay, so we're going to come here. We're going to go to moving average multiple. Okay. We're going to put some lines on. Come here. Now, these moving averages are basically lines that indicate the average closing price of the last X coin or bars. So we're going to put on a few of these. Go to settings. And what we're going to do is the first one, we're going to set to 9. Next one, 20, 50, and then 200. We're going to ignore these other two, the 5th and 6th one. Then we're going to change the colors. We're going to turn off the last two because we're not using them. So the first one's going to be blue. Next one, we're going to do white, and we're going to make it a little thicker. Next one, we're going to do yellow and thicker still. And then the last one, we're going to make orange and thicker little. Now, what happens is you will see here, we have, after 9 bars, this first blue bar appearing. This is our moving average. It's the average closing price of the last 9 bars. So what we want to do is we want to have at least 3, if we're looking for what the trend is after the initial launch. Because when we first have our initial thrust, we have nothing to work with. We have no indicators. This is more for longer established coins. So in this one, again, let me just start off because we got phases here. I'm going to mark off the high. We have our confirmation, place the trade. We're going to take this to the previous low, which I'm going to use as the stop. Set this to 100%, which I'm just going to do here. Extend it out. Now what happens is after a certain number of bars, we start getting, this is our 9, now we have 20, and this starts giving us an indication of direction. And then after 50 bars, we have that. But what you can see is the 9 is above the 20, is above the 50. Now, early on in a coin's evolution, as it grows and we have more data, we start to have more information to work with. And we can see that this is now trending up. So if the smaller bars are above the bigger bars, that tends to give an indication. If we have 3, we can start making finer decisions. So you can see here, this is going up, going up, going up. And we blew past our 100%. I can increase my target. But what I can also do is I can use these as a reason to get out. So you can see this dip here. I could say, okay, it's dipped below the 20. That's a legitimate reason to get out and cap in some profits. Even if I'm not at my 100%, even if I took it out there, well, that is enough of a reason for me to lock in 80%. Now, if it's rolling and my target's extending and it's blowing past, well, I could lock in a little more, but I've got another lockout here. A dip below, yada, 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 148%. Or I can let it roll and say, okay, I want it to be, target-based only, 237%. All right, and this is another, when you start seeing big spikes at the top like this, these are considered signs of exhaustion. And when you see multiples like next to each other, that's a stronger reason just to get it. Take your profit, okay? Again, it's about the money you make, not the money you keep. Is setting up the indicators in the notes? No, but again, just watch the replay, okay? It's pretty easy. But now you can see where we have these signs of exhaustion, we got a good reason to get out, and then it faded away. The faster lines end up below the slower lines, bum, 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 and we're back at almost the opening price here. So use these indicators to help you. Now, again, we'll do this multiple times. Okay. So let's have a look at another one. Okay, initial thrust, bum, 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 fade away, didn't really do, it did just confirm, but again, I would say that's also borderline, very, very borderline. I'd have been hesitant about entering that trade, but sure enough, it failed. Okay, well, another one here. Now, this is again, you see the thicker line? when you have the 200 period moving average, which is this orange line, if it's above that orange line, it's bullish. If it's below that orange line, it's bearish. In other words, it's going down. So this one, 400%, and great. And again, this was one from the 4th of, well, actually the 3rd, it launched. And it's one I've been watching, and I made a quick 400%, that's great. But this is your double tap. So people have been asking, okay, do we have to do the 15 or can we go with more established coins when they're doing more things? As you get a rolling basket, you've got more coins on your watch list, you start being more aware, you end up with situations like this. Coins that had their big thrust, you've cashed out, but they're still on your watch list because they've got potential. This is what happens. You see what happened here, and again, this, I'm giving you the kind of 30,000 foot view, and I'm giving you a lot of information. Don't be afraid of this. Don't be overwhelmed by this because it's a lot. You can go through this multiple times. And again, tomorrow we're going to show you how you can continue this journey to get more and more comfortable, more and more flow with this and everything else. But it's relevant to me showing you what I'm doing in real time. So we have the 50 period moving average that crossed above the 200. We call this the golden cross. That's where shit gets real. And then we've got the 20 above the 50, above the 200. And then, just like we did with, and this is what I've done for years with stocks, options, crypto, and everything else. This is where I've made a lot of fucking money. This is why this one strategy I'm teaching you is a millionaire maker. Okay? Out of all the different strategies, I've always come back to this one. So, coming over here where we have, first we have the golden cross. Then we look for a dip, the first dip, and we want at least 10 bars after the golden cross. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it just happens to be that that 10th bar is crossing, and I'll have to zoom in here to show you this. Okay, that 10th bar right here is crossing, it opened above and it closed below the 20 period moving average. Now, when you have the 200, the 50, and the 20, we ignore the blue line. Okay, ignore it. It doesn't exist anymore. Block it out of your head. So it just happens that this bar is now a dip. It's dipping below the moving average. So mark off the high. See what we're doing here, similar to our first launch, when we have a coin that's launching, we don't have any data. So we're creating a proxy for this method. But when you get more established, you have more data, great. This is the original method that I use in stocks and options. So mark off the high. We have a bar that crossed. Okay, so that's confirmed. On the next bar, we start the trade, move the low, scale back out, the low, and initially, after an established coin, I start with 25% as my target. Because hitting 100% afterwards, it's not as common because, again, it's already grown, it's got more data, and 100% is a lot further away than this, but 25%. Boom, we hit that. All right. So hit that, I could cash out, and then I could look for another entry. So let's assume that this has gone down. I'm looking for a confirmation above. So the 20 is above the 50, is above this. We got another dip right there. So again, I'm just going to scale it on this. And boom, took off like a rocket. All right, cool, groovy. Now, wait for that bar to close. 25%. actually just touched it right there, but you can say that's an active trade. We'll keep an eye on it. But that is 400 with another 25% and another potential 25%. Do you want to know how you can make a significant amount of money? So why do you use the long position tool? To plot my targets, to see where I'm going to set, my virtual stops. This allows me to plot and know where I'm going to get out before I'm going to get in. Okay, but watch this. Right. So let's say we started with, if I take my calculator here, say I started with $500 on a trade. Okay, fine. Times 400%. That's taking 500, turn it into $2,000. Then we had another one. Okay, actually that was wrong. Let me just correct that. Okay, 400. Okay. I'm asked about face here. $500 times 400%, and plus another 25%, and then plus another 25%. That turned our original $500 compounded with multiple trades into $3,125. Not bad, right? Why are some candles longer than others? Because there's more buying or selling activity within that 15 minutes. It measures the range of price activity within that block. But does that make sense? $500 turned into $3,125 in under 2 weeks. Just finding those trades. Okay, so this is the double tap method in GEM. But okay, let's have a look at another one. Another one that's taken off. Again, the initial thrust here was back in December. Again, on this coin, if I just take this coin, this is again another established coin. First thrust, boom, did pretty well. 144%. And this is the thing. We look for 100% to 200%. That happens consistently with a lot of coins, okay? So I think this one did actually 150 when I got out, if my memory's right. There was a little over here because it dipped and then it came back up again. So great. But again, we have all these other periods where interesting stuff happened. I'm just going to go rough, but again, it's in here, another 75%, I think it was on this one. And then there was another one that it tricked and started fucking around in here, and that one lost. Okay, there was a negative one in here. It's not all winners, but it did set up, looked like it was going to do something, and then it didn't. And then, okay, so fine, done. Okay, it fucked up and it died. Okay, not everyone's a winner. There was a dip in here. There was another little one in here. And it hit that pretty quick. Didn't really do bugger all after that. There was another one in here. And that did 100%. Right past its bloody. Yeah. That one didn't really set up until here, and then it faded away, so it didn't really do bugger all. No, it did actually dip on the 50. When the 20 is below the 50, by the way, you ignore the 20. You look at the 50. There was one here. So this actually set up from, and I'll zoom in here. And it gets to the point where you can just see these, by the way. You can just visually see these. You don't need, sometimes you don't even need to make the mark lines. But again, this one was 75%. And I actually got it out here, roughly, because it faded away and I just let it run. Right, and now, zoom in on this one because it's kind of funky. Okay, so you can actually have golden cross right here. And there was, it's hard to see, but this dipped below the 20 here. It's a little wick, but it's hard to see on this. This one went a little fucking crazy. I think what happened was this was a caller, had spoken about it, and I got out at 200%. It went higher, and it looks like it's setting up again, but it didn't quite dip below. So I'm just watching it. But you take all of those, and again, I'm gonna bring out the calculator. Let's say you started with $100 on this one, okay? $100. So the first trade, 149, so times 149 cent. So that's that, plus another 75%, calculator, plus 75%, plus 100% there. Then 75 there. And then 200% there. So $100 turned into $3,302. Now that's compounding. It's a little riskier, but it works out a lot of the time, more often than not. Or you could just take your individual trades and just do, okay, a risk 100 there, risk 100 there, risk 100 there. Does that, now, do you so you're buying and selling the same coin. If the opportunity presents, absolutely. I'll give you an example of one that, again, done multiple times. Looks like it's setting up again. Okay. I'm going to put this one on a 4-hour chart. This is one, when we did this masterclass 12 months ago, this is one of the coins we found. We found this live in the masterclass. Okay. I mean, this is done, I mean, recently it did 2,186. This is after being well established, and it's done multiple since then. But if I go here, it has had many, many setups. So this is August 2023. Okay. So a year and a bit ago now, actually. But yeah, had its initial thrust, and then again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And then it did another 2,000, and now it's taking off again. This has been the gift that keeps on giving. So when there is opportunities, yeah, absolutely, I will dip into that as many times as bloody needed. Now, does that make sense? Does the principles here make sense? Now, when it actually comes to buying, yeah, you would connect your wallet and say, I want to buy X and everything else, but does that make sense? Mostly ish. You know what? That's great, because I'm cramming 10 tons of shit in a 1-ton bag here. But this is the world we live in. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, even if you just understand in principle, that's fucking fantastic, because that's what it's about. Now, tomorrow, again, we'll talk about how to continue this, keep going, and everything else. But I just want you to understand there's so much fucking money here. There's so much potential here. I mean, fuck, this, when you scale up, when you have more capital and you're risking $1,000 a trade or $5,000 a trade, when you scale up and you get to that point and you're making just as a fucking, just a single trade, okay? Say that this was a $2,000 trade, okay? Let's just keep it simple. Times, what's that? 2,186. 2,186%. That's $43,000. One trade, and it only lasted from what? September to October. So just a month, 30 days. 42 grand, one trade. Happy fucking days. That's a very Merry Christmas right there. And yeah, and it's doing it again right now. In fact, I'm kind of curious from, okay, I see the entry here. Another 118%. So if you'd taken that, let's just say 100%. And you just did those two trades, and then you took your 42K times, or plus 100%. It's now $87,000. Two trades. Works for me. Very happy with that. And does that happen all the time? No, of course not. But then that's it. Right. Listen. There's a lot we can go with. I'm very worried about overwhelming. I already feel that I may have overwhelmed a lot. So I want to take one trade. I want to paper trade it. But I think I might answer some of the other questions I'm seeing here. Someone's saying that brain fog is heating up. So let's have a look at brain fog. Brain fog. Yeah, looks like it actually has set up. Perfect fucking example. Not quite above the, okay, no, it's not quite there. First thrust and that. But let's pretend it has. Okay, let's pretend. So I'm gonna pretend that this is our first thrust. Okay, I'm going to ignore this for now. We'll pretend that doesn't exist. Okay, let's just say it's confirmed. So how do we actually paper trade it? Well, first of all, I use the long tool to do the measurements. Boom. Move the stop to the previous low. And then set my target as 100%. So cool and groovy. Okay. Now, giving you this tool. It's in the tools. I'm just going to copy the link to this. Put it in the chat box. There we go. Now, this has two things. It has a trade logger and a calculator. Now, I want you to go to File, make a copy. Don't ask for editing access because you're going to get told to bugger off politely, but yes, firmly. Make a copy because you want a copy of this on your own system. Okay. Then I can say, okay, I'm signing off with, say, 100,000. Okay, let's just say 10,000. You can make any fucking number you want. But here's the thing, with new coins, you can only trade small to start with new coins. Okay, maybe about $1,000 or less. Okay, so if you're trading with $10, $50, yeah, you're okay. $100, okay. If you get above $1,000 on a very, very small cap, you end up paying a lot of penalties and taxes and all sorts of other things because you're a whale. Okay, but with more established coins, when there's more market cap and liquidity, like SPX, I could trade $1 million. Okay, because it has a lot of market cap. I could put $1 million into that. I could put, not that I would, I could trade it a few thousand. Okay. I usually don't go above 5,000, just for reference. Sometimes I'll compound it if there's market value and everything else, and I'll do a compounded trade, but my starting trade very rarely above 5K. All right. Anyway, I want to risk 2% of my 5, but I could be aggressive. I could say 10, 1,000, but yeah, let's just say 2%, just for simples. So $200, right? So if I want to risk $200, what's the value of this coin? Right now, it's 0.1778. Okay. So I put in the coin price 0.1178. I need to buy 16,000 or 1,697. Okay, so I come over here. And if I was actually buying it, then I would say how much Ethereum, okay, and I want to buy 1,697. That would cost me 0.08 Ethereum or what have you. Okay, so you can use this tool here to flip it around and so on and so forth. And then I don't have any Ethereum in here, but you would click on this button and you would execute the trade. I would buy X, all the rest of it. Anyway, but to log this as a paper trade, come over here and we'd add whatever the token name is, Brain Crack ETH. Token, if I want to get the address, so I know which one I'm working with. Formatting. Chart, if I want to come back to it, make sure I got the right one. So I copy that link in there. Okay. Direction, bullish, which we always are with these. Entry price, 0. What can I say? 1.77, 0.17. Okay, that's I'm seeing that. Okay, position amount, 200. Stop. I can see that line here, 0.09968. Okay, my target. And I can look at this green line up here, 0.3541. Okay, and then I can say, okay, when it gets there, if I hit my target 100%, well, I've just made $400. When did I close it? Well, it hasn't closed yet, but hey, we'll wait and see. Reason for the trade, standard, this is where you make comments, standard entry based on quick sweep, qualification, and whatever other notes you may have. But that's it. Then add it to your watch list, keep an eye on it. Does it hit target? Yada, yada, yada. Good, groovy, and we're done. That's a paper trade. So, does that make sense? Again, I want you to follow through. Actually, use this one as a demo, okay? Use this as a demo. Go practice it. But does it make sense? Put a yes, or a yes, or a no. I just want to you understand in principle. Here's the thing. This is a brand new skill. This is like me trying to get you to learn to walk in a day. So I understand that even in this like 5-day period that we're doing this masterclass, I'm giving you a lot that usually takes people weeks to learn. Okay, so I know I'm cramming a lot in here. My main thing is that you understand in principle. Like tomorrow's the most important day because it's how to continue this journey and keep doing this so it becomes automatic. And I'm really trying not to overwhelm you with too much. I'm trying to do this in phases. It is still a lot. Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot to take in. It's like drinking from a fire hose. Okay. I won't say the version we had the other day, which is Very rude. Okay, but yeah, it's like drinking from a fire hose, right? Okay, and I get that. There's a lot, but also the main thing I want you to understand is: do you see the potential? Do you see the potential for profit for this as a business? That the money is right there. All you got to do is reach out, master this, and get it. Yeah. Does everyone understand? I mean, we got a lot of people here. Does everyone understand that at the very least? I mean, you've seen some of the examples of the trades I've been doing here, and it's to say profitable would be an understatement. And I don't mean this, a lot of people throw out a lot of cliches, but if I lost everything tomorrow, this is exactly what I would do to build it all back. And very quickly. That's the whole point of this. But yeah, that's awesome. I don't understand. I understand, but don't know how to use the tools of the chart. That takes time. Go play. Go practice. Okay, so the main things you're going to do is a trend line, which is this. Hold the shift key, move it, and then you can drag it, whatever you fucking want. Cool. And then the long position tool, which is going to be the standard one. Drop it on the chart, move it around. The thing is, just play with it. You don't know anything until you play with it. When you picked up your smartphone for the first time, you got your new Android or your iPhone or what have you. Fucking know how to use it, did you? Until you started playing with it, and you started figuring it out. So that's the main thing. Can I share that screen? I'll share you the. I don't know if I can actually share this fucker actually. No, I don't think I can actually share this chart with the drawings and everything else. So, but then again, fuck off. You do it yourself. And I mean that fun in all fun and joking. But the point is, go draw it yourself. Go do the study, go do the practice and everything else. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's a better one for you to draw from what we were doing. Yeah, okay, just stick with brain. And here's what I want you to do. Watch it. Okay, mark off the high legitimately. Okay, we're not going to pretend. Watch it. I think it's going to confirm. Okay, I think it's going to confirm. We can watch it. So take this one. I'm going to give you the chart, mark off the high, and paper trade it when it confirms, if it confirms. And if it doesn't, guess what the homework is today? Okay, go find coins, validate them, and paper trade the buggers. Give you a little head start. Anyway, covered a lot of ground there. Covered a lot of ground. Where are we at for time, actually? Jesus, okay, past the hour. I went further than I meant to, but there's so much money out. All right, so how to be consistent. Develop a trading plan, just like we gave you, the 60-minute version. Establish a routine. Set aside a certain time every day, make it, you be very disciplined with it, and make it happen. Risk management, like I said, very important. Apply strict risk management rules. Position sizing, be disciplined, start small when you first start, decide where you're going to get in, where you're going to get out, and everything else. Review and refine. In other words, if you made a mistake, own up to it. Don't hold on to your mistakes. Okay, use them as lessons. Every mistake is a lesson. And maintain a trading journal, which we just gave. That's the key to being consistent. Now, think of this as your standard operating procedure, SOP, if you're familiar with it, okay, for your business. Right, so assignment time, like I said, go find newly launched coins or go find an established coin and see if there's an opportunity for a double tap or a new entry, okay? Do your quick sweep, do your validation. All of those coins, by the way, that we talked about today, passed validation. Groovy. Post your find in the Discord group, paper trade it, and watch to see what's next. And do it with Brain Fog, or Brain Frog, which is a great name, by the way, compared to some of the things I've seen recently. That's actually Brainfrog. I like that. I like that pun. But post your virtual win in Discord. Maybe do it a couple of times. Go find a few. That's the key thing. You do that, you're on your track. Okay? All right, so let's recap. You've discovered how to put this all together. Production line process. Develop the $1 million mindset. Be consistent in your approach. Double tap for extra profits. And by the way, those in the inner circle, I will do a much more extended training on that. But again, had to introduce the base concept, the foundation, and everything else. That will come afterwards, okay? Then you also covered a lot more. So the next session tomorrow is a bonus session. We're going to talk about how to take all this further, software, all sorts of other cool stuff, how we can all work together into the future with what we call the Hive. So much bloody more. So make sure you're on that. That is, I think, we've given you the foundation, given you the meat here. Now we got to put all the trimmings and veg and gravy and all the rest of it. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So let's do a quick Q&A. I'm happy to answer any questions. We'll do this for about 5 minutes or so, maybe 10, and just go through as many questions as we can to answer. So if you've got a question and I haven't answered it already, put it in now, and I'll try and answer as best as possible. All right. Sean, those bonuses in the inner circle, where can I find them? They are they are in the Discord. Make sure you have upgraded, gone through the Start Here stuff and everything else that's in the Google Doc. You can get in the Inner Circle channel, and I will be doing those trainings there, and you'll be good to go. All right. And we'll do those. I'll either drop them in, and there's the 100K accelerator, or sorry, the 10X accelerator, and the double tap. I'll be dropping those, but I've got to record them because, again, they're after this main training and everything else. Can you explain where the first stop loss is placed? Yeah, it's always going to be the previous low. So if this confirmed and say it went here, okay, and it's up here, blah, 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 what I would do is take the correct tool, and then the stop goes to the previous low. So I look left, and you can see I'm looking here, okay? So the stop goes to the previous low, the bottom of the previous low, which is actually the wick on this candle here. That's it, okay? So the stop, and now you can go just a little bit below it to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, because crypto and these coins are volatile, so they can move quickly. But if they hover around here, give yourself a little buffer if you want, but if you want to be straight, then yeah, previously. Great question. Do you ever take into consideration volume? Usually I see that because these are brand new launch coins, you can see there's a lot of volume up front. Everyone's trying to jam in on the first bar, which is a fool's errand in a lot of ways. But I don't really take that into consideration because I see more of that in the price action, the variance and everything else. So you can see the volume is very low. If I take, let's see if I still got SPX up, you can see the volumes are much higher here, but that's also then marred in the growth and the price actions. Not really. Can you enter a trade when there's a dip below the 200? Yes, but in general, I work about 20 and the 50. If the 20 and the 50 is still above the 200, but it moves quickly and it dips, but it recovers quickly, yes, I can. But it's a rare situation. So the paper trade is just putting it in the spreadsheet instead of doing it with index flows. Yes. You're basically pretending you put your money in. You can't paper trade with index tools. So yeah, paper trading used to be just write down a piece of paper, notepad. But now we've got tools like spreadsheets and shit. So we use that and it's a little easier. What happens that makes you decide to continue to watch a coin after you've exited? Well, it tends to be on my watch list. So like right now, if I was coming back to Brain here, I see, oh, it's up 74%. Oh, what's going on? I could come back later on and see, okay, it's on a 4 hour. Yeah, funnily enough, on a 4 hour, that's not quite confirmed. Okay, I was looking at this, it's the dip, but yeah, it's, I could come back later. Like Casper, let's have a look at Casper. Casper, I haven't looked at this one for years. Okay, yeah, fuck all. Okay, so this was from November 2024. I was doing a example on this one, but you can see it's dropped off. But if I had SPX and it said, oh, it's up a certain amount, I'll go look at it. And I'll look through my watch list and I can just go click, click, and I can just go through some that I've got going on. And I usually do this more with projects or ones that are more established. If I see, you know, pull an old one up that I just off the top of my head. There was one that was Tatecoin. Now, I don't know if this is the same one. Yeah. This one actually did very well on launch and it has had several pops. Right now, yeah, it's kind of dead. There's not much volume and it's drops. But again, this is one that has, when it first came out, did very fucking well. But its market cap right now, still only 163,000. Not a lot of liquidity, not a lot going on. When it first came out, did great. There was a second tap, and then it died for a while, and then it had another couple of really good pops. I mean, even in this, was another 300% in that. All right, fine. And then it had another couple of pops. So again, every now and then it pops up and it does some interesting things. Not a lot of volume, but yeah, maybe there's a conversation going around on it or something like that. But I'll come back and through and have a scan. If I see on my watch list something's popping up and doing a few percent, I'll go have a look. If it's negative, I'm not going to fuck it. But that's where you build up your continuous awareness of stuff. Okay. Do we have a limited time to upgrade to any of the three OTOs? Well, you kind of, the red carpet extended sessions, which we can do after this, and you can upgrade to the inner circle, the trifecta, that's no problem. The red carpet is more timely because we do the extended sessions afterwards, but yeah. But you got to get a wriggle on because Sunday, everything shuts down, okay? Masterclass, by the way, just to be on the 100% transparent, I've said this several times, but I'm going to say it again. Sunday, the Discord disappears. Okay, we're done. Masterclass is over. We'll do a celebration call on Sunday. We'll announce the winner of the $1,000, $500, and $250 prize. But Sunday, everything's gone. So, red carpet VIPs, the inner circle, the trifecta, they've got all their links afterwards for the continued access. But Sunday, Discord, everything else, boom, gone. Replays, gone. Everything gone. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. Okay. Can you enter and exit a trade in a few hours? Yeah, you don't have any pattern day trader rules with this. This is completely independent, so yeah, no problem. So you don't have to watch the chart 24/7 for days or weeks. Yeah, you can do it within a few hours. A lot of times, you know, those targets are hit pretty quickly, and boom, done. So yeah, not a problem on that. Okay, lots and lots of questions, guys. I'm going to try and answer as many as I can, but you've got to jump over here in a second. You don't make the trade in US dollars. You can. You can trade in USDT, which is a stable coin. If you have that in your wallet, or USDC, or DAI, these are all stable coins, or wrapped Ether, wrapped BTC, you know, depending on what you, okay? But yes, those are all stable coins pegged against the dollar. So, same shit. Please explain, okay, please explain what comes with the inner circle. You go to the thing, upgrade links there, each one tells you exactly what it is. Okay, so you go have a look at that. Is there an automatic sale when it? No. I wish there was, but no. So this is where we set alerts. If I do, let's see, I'll take Brainfrog. And I go, this is where Dex Screener has an advantage. I have a paid account with DexTools, so I have alerts and everything else. Okay. When I got it, it was only like $50, and now it's like $500 because it's actually pegged with, well, let me show you. So they have their, DexTools has their own token. Now, when I got it, it was a long fucking time ago. But I got it when it was $50, and it was the token was $50, but then it climbed up like 100 times since then. So it's a little more expensive. Okay, so anyway, by the by, you can find out more about that in here, your plan, and everything else. It's expensive. I don't suggest it if you're just starting out until you've got some cash in your coin. But you can use Dex Screener, and I'll show you this. By the way, that being said, and I should mention this, you can actually get Dex Screener app, DexTools app on your phone, and I think they have a browser alert or notifications in there as standard. Might be wrong, but keep that in mind as well. But let's say I'm using, whoops, not that fucker. Where's the search? Keep moving it. Okay. Brainfrog. So say I've got this, and it's on a 15-minute chart, doing all right, and say I want to set an alert. So let's say I want to know when it breaks that. Okay. So my price, 0.2053. Alert. Price in USD goes over. It's over 2. The fuck did I say? It's 253. 2053. Okay. 2053. Create an alert. Okay. And that will give me a browser alert and everything else. But you can also get those alerts in the app. That is very useful. And you can use that for your stops and your targets as well. Okay. Cool. Was that useful? Okay, cool. Is that a text? Or you mean text? No, no, it's a browser alert, but in the app as well, it'll just give you a notification. Okay. All right. Is your software will be available for we'll talk about that tomorrow, okay, and everything else. All right. With that being said, oh shit! I just realized I shouldn't have stretched that way when I went forward. Shit. Oh, for morphine. Okay. That's one thing that is good here. They do have some good painkillers. All right, I'll have to take one of those in a moment. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Fucker. Right. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up right there, guys. I do have to get over to the Q&A. Also have to go use the restroom. But there is one last thing. And everyone's saying, what about the code? What about the code? You're covered. Don't worry. Right. Third code is consistency. Don't put it in the Discord. You don't need to. Just write it down on pen and paper. I'll tell you what to do about this in session 5, and then we'll rock and roll. Okay, you don't need to write that in Discord. But we are going to do the big aha moment for today. So what is your big aha for today? Go put that in Discord. I'll pick that winner tomorrow. And again, another $100. So again, congratulations to Jussie, P. David. They're the 2 winners so far. I will ping you today to get your payment information and send that over to you. And then, yeah, we'll rock and roll from there. So that's it for today. Thank you for your time and attention. Always appreciate it. For the red carpet, folks, give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to use the restroom, grab another protein drink, and then we'll rock and roll, and we'll jump onto that secret link. And we'll take it from there. All right. Thank you. Rock and roll. See you tomorrow.